John, you want to lead us in our invocation?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord, and we praise your holy precious name. We just ask you to be with us as we make decisions for the city, Lord, and just keep everybody safe. These things we ask in your holy precious name. Amen.
Samantha, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will go ahead and convene our meeting. We'll start with a roll call. Misty Cottle.
Here.
Jeff Upton.
Here.
Jan Throgmorton.
Here.
Marty Lindaberry.
Here.
John Collins.
Here.
Dina McKnight.
Here.
Don Rollins. Anthony Foster are both absent. Our city attorney and city clerk are both present, so we can carry on. Anybody else tired tonight? I don't really have a reason to be, but I am. The first item on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any concerns, changes, or motions concerning that?
I make a motion we adopt the agenda now. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. Next is the approval of our meeting minutes from our July meeting. Do we have any changes or motions concerning those?
I make a motion we accept them. Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
That motion carries. Up next is our public forum. So anyone who would like to address the council tonight is more than willing to. I know we have one candidate that'll be joining the races that will be addressing us. And Steve, we'll get you, we've got you scheduled in there. You're in for the night.
I clean my calendar.
Okay. So Myra, if you want to come on up, we'll start with you, and while you're coming up, I'll just let everybody know, in case you didn't hear Justin say it, but we do know that we've had a couple issues with our audio in the last couple meetings, and we don't know why. So Justin says everything is working as it should be, which it has been. So we'll see what we get out of tonight, but we are aware of it, and we are trying to figure out what's going on with that. Myra, speak up so everybody can hear you on YouTube, just in case.
Well, thank you for letting me be here. I'm going to practice on you guys because this is my hometown. So my name is Myra Collins, who don't know me. I am running for Washington County Collector. So I'm excited to pursue this endeavor. I've worked at the county for over a decade in various positions, and one of them has been the collector. I'm currently in human resources, but I have a great perspective of how the runnings of the county happen. And so I'm just really excited to have the opportunity to step in. So I'll be here if y'all have some questions. I'm going to hang out afterwards and would love to meet and greet. And just primaries are coming up March 3rd of 2026. So I appreciate if you're not a registered voter, get registered. And if you're registered, then vote for me, Myra Collins. Thank you all.
Thank you, Myra. You guys know how to tell if somebody's truly crazy? They're excited about the collector position.
I have a heart for service.
There we go.
There you go.
And we're glad, Myra. Thank you. Anyone else like to address the council tonight? Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Woody Marion. I've noticed lately there's been a couple of spots where people have been dumping yard waste just outside of town. The other day I was driving down the road and there was bag after bag that just got dumped to the road, just yard waste.
Just like right on the other side on Campbell, like just.
And like, it hasn't been like a huge issue, mostly like just west of the Dye Creek Bridge. There's like a pile of brush. So I was thinking, I don't know how easy it would be maybe to designate some sort of a just compostable yard waste area that the city could have where people could just dump stuff that's yard waste or brush.
We've thought about that. We haven't moved with it, but we have thought about it, considered it. And so is this Is this all yard, it's not trash bags, it's not trash?
The stuff recently has just been yard waste.
Okay, okay.
So it's not like a huge deal, it'll go away at some point, but there's people that I don't think have
No, I
anywhere
agree.
to put it, and so they're just going outside of town and dumping it.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
it's
so
not
we,
like a huge deal.
but it's something that, yeah, no, I get it. We actually talked about trying to incorporate something like that with our fall cleanup or spring cleanup. We just didn't move in that direction this year, but
Yeah.
definitely something I think we should
Yeah.
keep on our minds.
Just someone thought I mentioned.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Things on business items, do you want that now or when the business item is happening?
When the business item happens. All right, we'll move into our business reports. Up first, Planning Commission, Walter.
Good evening. So this month was slow, or last month was a slow month, and this month we don't have anything yet on the agenda. We just had a simple lot split, and we got a little bit of updates on the county change, or the state changes that affect our planning area and the zoning for accessory dwellings. That's gonna change a little bit. We're still waiting on some updates for it, and so we're waiting on some updates of what some of the stuff that state's changed, but we're getting a little anxious for changes to Title 15, and we'll get there when we get there.
Any questions for Walter? Thank you, sir. Next, the library report, Marie.
So this morning our power was out, so we got to check books in and out the old-fashioned way. That was kind of fun. I guess it was in honor of our 50th anniversary back when you had to do that all the time. And I got to tell you, I'm glad that we've updated that. So we're really excited that our 50th is coming up. We've had a great summer, had a couple of weeks to kind of, chill a little bit in preparation for this, but we've got a great lineup coming. We've got our 50th open house, which is the same date and same day as the original open house to celebrate the original opening of the library. And it's going to be from 10:30 to 12:30 p.m. on August 23rd. The following Monday, we're going to have like a simple drop-in crafting. So if you know someone who likes making jewelry, let them know that they can come. They'll have supplies. They can hang out. We've got a bookmobile coming for our story time, and Bethany is going to be doing a surf class, so we're really excited about that. We've got some of our original, we've got the daughter of our first librarian coming on that Wednesday, and a lot of other people who have been instrumental in both the past and the present of the library, so we're really excited about that. Throughout the whole week, we will have an interactive timeline, so if you have a memory that you would like to share about the library, we'd love for you to come. Danielle Campbell is going to be coming too. We're really excited. She's very into local history and she is a proliferous writer. So we're really excited about that. And we've got, some of our usuals like our infant encore and then a golden anniversary bingo. So if you want to win some fun prizes and hang out with family and friends, come to bingo night. Yeah.
How did last night go?
Let's see, last night was great. Oh yes, thank you so much for the school for inviting us to the block party. It was a lot of fun. So we actually been working with our county librarian so that we can get our library software onto a computer, so we were able to distribute some library cards on site at the school, and that was really cool. And a first for us. So we're really excited. We got some library cards, we got to hang out with the kids. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other questions for me? No? Show of hands, who's planning on going to the anniversary?
Fair enough.
I'm excited about it. That's really cool that they're putting that together. Thank you, Marie.
Thank you.
Next, Police Department, Chief Goggins.
Good evening. So I had 403 calls for service, 32 reports taken, 82 citations, 72 warnings. Overall, we are fully staffed, asterisk. We are fully staffed, however, one of the people we did pick up is one of our part-timers, so he's going to go to the academy this fall, so we're still running shorthanded until he gets fully cleared to work. So, but we're one step closer, and we're making good positive progress there. We got the SRO position filled by Officer Polk. Got him to the Safe Schools Conference the week after he was hired, get him going with the SRO training. Of course, we're going to send him to the basic stuff, SRO basic, some other mandated training, but we're getting him spun up on that. Speaking of school, tomorrow, traffic will be terrible. I apologize. I will flap my arms as hard as I possibly can, but it's going to be bad. I'd recommend, if you can, take White Street if you're going trying to 49. If you're trying to go the other way, take White Street as well. Try to avoid the four-way. We will be jammed up and locked up at some point. It happens every time. There's just too many people. We do the best we can to keep it going and then ease the flow, but it's going to be bad. Always is. We'll do our best. It'll be about 2 days that typically really impacts it, and after that, things kind of, work themselves out. So first day is always the worst. Some homework. Mr. Rollins isn't here, but I did do the pay survey stuff. It's not complete. It's an ever-revolving thing. That's why I basically just shared the QR code with you, a little snapshot. Of note, as you look through that data, I'm trying to parse that out as much as possible to give an apples comparison to see how many officers these jurisdictions have per citizen, how much they spend per citizen or per officer, like their budgets. And so you'll see population, budget, number of officers, stuff like that. For the people, I have that information. There's still people out that I haven't. Hopefully I don't have to put it in FOIAs. I don't think I will. But, and trying to get it as best a comparison I can. Also of note, and it's best you're not going to see, you're only seeing literally like one little snapshot of it. It would be like 4 pages long. That QR code will get you to the link, and you can just swipe over and move around and see all the different jurisdictions. All the way to the right, there's the date when that was updated. So some of that stuff was some that I haven't got information back, could be back to 2022. But as I updated, literally just updated Prairie Groves today, they just did a posting, and so I updated their information on their starting for non-certified and certified, and their incentives and stuff. Just filled that in, changed the date at the far right. So we're trying to keep that going. That's something we did a couple of years ago, and just try to update it as we go. So that information's there for everybody to see. Let's see, we're going to be getting rid of a police car. We got the new Durango upfitted, operational, it's out there. We're pretty much worked all the bugs out of it, and we're going to be trying to offload one of our vehicles. So if we know another, preferably we'd like to sell to another jurisdiction, law enforcement of some sort, so we can basically take out the radio, take off less work, and they can go right to work and save us time and money prepping and stripping it, and they get equipment too. So we'd like to work on a deal like that, if we can. That's probably a little optimistic. But one person emailed me and said, hey, what do you want for it? We'll see. If not, we'll probably look at an auction site. We'll strip it down, to take a lot of the higher price things out of it, and then sell it at some kind of gov deals auction or something like that, try to get the most we can. But we'll do our best to recoup some of those expenses there. And lastly, I've already kind of teased this with the mayor. We're going to be asking for some money. We're looking, exploring the options of license plate readers to cover our region, either our town or maybe just this region down here. I'm talking to state police, talking to vendors for that to see what it would be to do that. We've talked about it before, to try to get that little added level of security for us down here, especially people pass through, hop off, do something to take off, to try to give us a little more options to try to track these people down. Obviously, it's kind of a hot topic with the last incident in Devil's Den, even though where we're looking at putting them probably would not have captured them either, because you can't cover everything. But we're also in a very strategic spot that we could partner with the state and basically have a whole lot of that traffic that's going north and south on these two main arteries, and capture a lot of stuff that could help, but not just necessarily us so much. We're not a high crime area, but we're in a good position to help the region and intercept a lot of those things. So just exploring that, how much that's going to cost, what it will take, and if we can even do it, how we'll do it, because there's a lot of technical stuff to it. We just found
Flock?
Yes, Flock seems to be the one around here. We've tested with other people. Flock seems to be kind of the brand that everybody gets, kind of like Glock and Flock. That's what people are going with there, and so it's hard to deny going with the same team just because you buy into that whole network. So once we do that, we can literally privately flag
everywhere.
Yeah, we say, hey, we have this vehicle, this person we're looking for a case. We don't charge this, but we'd like to see, and that'll go out to Springdale, Tawnytown, Benton County, or that's not Tawnytown, Benton County, I think has them. And it kind of opens up that network, and the network starts growing. And I'll be completely honest on the very front end of this. Will this help West Fork as much as it will help the region? It'll help the region probably more than West Fork. Unless we literally put them, they're directly in here, just looking at us. I struggle with that. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars a year to run multiple camera system. But I also think if we're going to spend that money, I think serving the region, that main artery, is probably the money better spent, whether it specifically helps our citizens quite as much, but it definitely helped the region exponentially more just because of all the traffic. But like I said, just in the initial stages, meetings, seeing how that would work, costs, so that we can kind of budget for that as we come into budgeting season. Didn't mean to get long-winded on it, but I did want to kind of put that out there in front of you now. But that's all I've got.
Any questions for Chief Goggins? No?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Isaac is not here tonight. He was out at 3:30 this morning replacing a water valve while we all rested our weary heads in bed and did not notice that we were out of water for a period of time. So big thank you and shout out to Isaac and his group for coming in like that. But he did decide he wasn't going to make it all day, so he left us. You guys have his reports in your packet. Are there any questions concerning his reports?
We don't have his reports.
He didn't have a water meeting, but you have his budget items in there. Is there anything? Okay.
Did you get that power line moved by Bruce?
Yes. Yes, he did. No.
Close?
They're very close, so they're down to, they were testing it today. They were pressure testing it today.
It's what they were finishing last night.
Yeah. So they got it finished. The valve was bad, so it held for a while, and then they had a leak, and when they went to shut it off, it wouldn't shut off. So they replaced the valve last night, and so they were retesting today. So really close. Now,
I know I've seen them down there close.
Isaac's saying that they're gonna be finished, and it'll probably be 2 years before the state comes in to do the bridge, but we are,
There's a lot of activity down there.
yeah, and we're finished with ours, so that's, he was on top of that. Anything else? Water and sewer? Okay. Next, Parks. Director Harrison?
Hello. Not a lot to report this month, just mostly just maintaining. We have started some off-season field projects, been doing some clearing, a few things in the disc golf course. Hopefully got some improvements coming in there that I'm kind of excited about, but it's a little early, but we'll be working on that over the next few months to add some things in there and make some improvements to what we've got. Thanks to Isaac and his department, we did start some projects at Riverside and cleaned up, did some cleaning up on the fence road between Riverside and the old Kennedy property that we purchased, and it looks really good. We got some more work to do in there, and a little bit more clearing and get rid of some brush at some point. And then we worked on some drainage issues around some of the sidewalks where they were holding water and things. Him and his guys' help over the last few days, we've been able to get some of that done, so that'll be a good improvement on some of that down there. I am down an employee, so I will be looking, I've got some part-time help right now that I'm gonna use temporarily until I can find someone to replace. I'm not gonna get in a big hurry with part-time help in the season that I'm in. I can get by for a little while, so. But I did want to let you know that, I did lose an employee when we were retiring, coming up.
At least let them know how hard it is to get part-time help now. Who are you struggling to use?
Well, Dwayne is still gonna help me some part-time, I think. He says he is. So far, he hasn't, but, he did switch over to part-time, but also, Chief Myers is helping me, and he's gonna borrow do some.
Straight to the bottom.
I know it.
So far, he's worked a couple days and
He's still
done
coming
pretty
back.
good. Yeah, he says he'll be back, so we'll see.
Howard, it ain't stepping up.
I tried to get him to come back, but
You can't do both?
he didn't say yes or no. He just gave that look. I don't know if you've seen that look, but. Yeah, he didn't even, I think he just ignored me, actually. Didn't acknowledge it. Yeah, I'd love to have him.
I think he's doing that now.
I bet there's some days he'd like to come
I
back.
bet there are.
So, but, yeah, that's about all I've got, so.
So I think the cleanup work you guys did around the trail area, I think that looks really good.
I already give guys a call credit. He went in there with that machine and did a really good job in there. And then I went behind him and picked all the trash. That was one of the biggest reasons. It does make it look a lot nicer, but all that underbrush and the thorns. And it was just a trash collector, and I would get in there and we'd get in there and have to dig it out. And anyway, so it's gonna make it nice. Eventually we'll open up more, make that property a little bit more accessible out there and back for sure.
Any other questions for Chad?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Next, Fire Department, Chief Howerton.
Good evening. For the month of July, we ran 101 emergencies, 13 of those were fires. Total training hours are up to just under 1,300 for the year. As far as training goes, we have another live burn training going on this weekend at Fayetteville Fire Department's Training Center. It'll be early Saturday morning. We'll be sending folks into some live fire scenarios and just letting them get some experience where they like that. Fire Marshal will be attending the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland, September 6th through the 13th. It's top-notch training, and it's all reimbursable through the state to get to go to the National Fire Academy. It's a great honor. People ask to go all the time and don't get selected to go, so the fact that we opened that position, they saw the need and they accepted him, so he'll be attending that. That is the first of many classes he'll be taking there over the next probably 2 years. But like I said, it's great training, and it's relatively inexpensive to us because the state reimburses us for most of it. So, other training, we have 2 young firefighters that will start the Fire Academy September 2nd. Their graduation will be October 31st. They'll be going up here to the Northwest Arkansas Metro Chiefs Academy. It'll be hosted in Fayetteville. It's an 8-week academy. They've both made plans to be career firemen, so we will be their sponsoring agent going through. I say sponsoring, that means my name will be on their application, not money purposes. They'll be taking care of their own prices there, but we're excited about that. That's 2 West Fork graduates that will be West Fork folks for a long time, and we're going to get good training, and they will continue to serve the community. Also, we started a junior firefighter program in the not too recent past. We currently have 5 members. Jan helps with that program. So we have 5 students from West Fork schools that are currently involved in our junior firefighter program, trying to do some recruitment at an early age, get them hooked early, and hopefully they'll be valuable volunteers once they become adults. So that's a program that we've started and that is going really well. And the last thing I have is pancake breakfast, because it's September 6th. Hope to see everybody there. Questions for me?
No? It's a quiet council tonight. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
And last but certainly not least, the financial report. Christie?
Wow. So our bank balances for the year have decreased by 100,000. Our budgets have actually made a turn for the better. We are $9,500 under budget as a whole for the city so far this year. The street budget looks really bad. It's at 112,000 over budget by itself. there is about 70,000 in that budget that's reimbursable. So for the work we've done up at Rock Creek, once we get all those invoices paid and checks back from what we paid, then we will send that into the state for reimbursement. So we are looking to have a lot of that deficit reimbursed. The rest of that deficit comes in because of the work that we had to do on Dye Creek Bridge and Riverwood Bridge after the flood. So those two things probably won't offset. Don't know if we'll have enough to offset that by the end of the year, but it will look better after we get the reimbursement from Rock Creek. Sales tax is still steady at right at 10% for city sales tax this year. On the water side of things, we are under budget by $151,000 for the water. We did have 38% water loss this month. Unfortunately, I think next month will be even a little bit higher because of the problems they've had with that valve. We've had quite a bit of water loss due to that. So, but it's something that they continually work on to try to spot and find and fix. It's just a never-ending battle. On our sewer income versus expenses, we had the second month this year that we did not take enough income in to cover those expenses. But compared to last year, we are still doing really good. And from the bill that we paid this month already, unless we have a very, very wet winter, I think we should not have any more months where we're in the deficit. So the difference from this year and last year is huge and definitely in the right direction. On the court report, the disbursements for this month were $24,000. We are holding steady at about $75,000 less that we have collected and dispersed this year from last year. We are going to start trying to have some discussions with the state. So the state determines how much money we are supposed to be able to keep and how much money we are supposed to send to them. This year, we have not collected enough funds to do either of those things. So we've shorted ourselves and we've shorted the state because we are not bringing in enough collections to send them the monthly amounts that we're supposed to. So we have started contacting the Administration of Justice people down in Little Rock to see if we have any way to request those numbers to be changed. So basically what that means for us is that the city general fund is having to take care of more of the court expenses. So what we're bringing in for actual collections, we're not getting to keep what the state thinks we should be able to keep out of those. So therefore the general fund has to step in and make up for that loss. I don't think that's an unusual situation for any courts. None of the courts in Arkansas get to keep enough money to support their court system. So whether we can actually get those numbers changed or not, I don't know. Basically what we do every month is send a report to the state saying we're short this much, so therefore we have a credit with them that if we ever collect enough to keep some ourselves, we can continue to keep money from them and pay ourselves back. Unfortunately, in December or the end of the year, that credit goes away. So if at December 31st, so right now I think that credit's right at $4,500 for the year so far. If we still have that credit sitting out there with the state in December, it goes away. So it's just money we lose. It doesn't continue on until next year. So we're working on trying to find out if there's any ways to get those allocations changed. I'm not confident that we can, but that's where we are on the court finances. The only other thing I have, I want to continue to remind everybody to get on the city mobile app. If you were on it when we had our last boil order, you got notifications saying that we were on a boil order. You got notifications saying when we lifted the boil order. We had many, many phone calls for people that were upset because they didn't get notifications that we were on a boil order until it was done and over and they didn't know. So we're trying to encourage as many people as we can to know that they can
go to the app, sign up for it. You can go, once you have the app, you can go in there and choose what notifications you want. So you don't have to be bombarded with notifications if you don't want an update on what every department's doing all the time. You don't have to, you can just sign up for city ones, and the city ones that we're sending out are mainly either meeting notices and or emergency situations. Other than that, the department heads do have their budget worksheets. Love this time of year. They've got a couple of weeks to get the first draft back to me, and then we'll see how many of them can make there's some big dreams out there, and I hope we can make all of them.
That's a question, I think. So, I know this is different than like a school. At school, since we have all the parents' phone numbers in our computer system, we can send out calls that are automated that go out to everybody that's filled out their information. Is there any way we can do that for citizens that have a water account so that then we could send out a boil order or?
So we don't have that capability with our water customers. We have the capability to send out emails if you're signed up through the notification system. So people have to go on and sign up for that. They can call us, we can help them sign up for that also. But we don't have the capability, we've looked into that, they're not free. Yeah, and typically emergency situations, if we have 2 a year, that's unusual for us. So we always have to kind of weigh the cost versus that. And I think this mobile app, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't have Facebook, a lot of people don't have social media, but most people have a smartphone that have the capability of having a mobile app. So.
And we're going to get more. So the understanding is that Fayetteville is going to be notifying us more often when they're doing work. They have not been doing so. And so I think we're going to get more boil orders down here, and we'll be hearing more of that. Any other questions for Christy?
I kind of have a question just on that. Is that okay?
Sure.
Sorry. Just about the same thing we were just speaking about. Is there a way to track who doesn't have a smartphone, who doesn't have, like, so you've got older folks who may not have any of those things, and there may only be like 5 or 10, but those are folks for whom, like, that information, they wouldn't have any way of getting it, and that's probably who would get sickest from not catching a boil order.
So when we have a boil order, we are required to notify all of the news stations, put it on social media and or our websites. So that's kind of how we're trying to make sure that we reach everybody. We don't have the capability to knock on everybody's door before one happens, or, you know, or that kind of thing. So typically the older generations are watching their local news stations and getting that information there. So we're trying to have different avenues for the different age groups and generations and how they get their information. So.
Would it be possible to, like, print out a door hanger about the app? And so, like, maybe when the guys are checking water meters, they could just put a door hanger on, like, so there's not, like, postage for a mailer, but maybe just something like that.
Well, have we put it on the water bill, or have we not? I've seen it so many times, I don't even know where all it's in.
I'm not sure that we put the mobile app on there.
We could do something like that.
Because they're already getting that.
Yeah, we've certainly been trying to get people to sign up for a while now, and so not trying to be mean to anybody or call anybody out, but the truth is, a lot of people don't want the city contacting them until it's something that really matters, right? And so as a city, we've really tried to respect people's privacy. If you don't want to sign up, okay, don't sign up. We're not going to force you into a system. Now, that comes back on us when people are calling, well, I didn't know about it. Well, chances are you've heard the city's trying to sign people up for this app. So we're trying to recognize the limitations on both sides. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Christie. All right, that concludes our business reports. Next, we have a procedural motion for all ordinances on the agenda. If Dina would like to make that.
I'll make that motion. There we go. I'll second it.
We have a motion and second to read all ordinances on the agenda by title only. Okay, thank you, Misty. And we'll do roll call for that. Misty Cottle?
Yes.
Jeff Upton?
Yes.
Jan Throgmorton?
Yes.
Marty Lindaberry?
Yes.
John Collins?
Yes.
Dina McKnight?
Yes.
Don Rollins? Anthony Foster? That motion does pass. So we can move on. Item C is old business. We don't have any old business tonight. Item D is new business, and we will start that with Mr. Steve Harrison, who stood us up last month. But he's going to give us the Central EMS report. I'm just kidding. I didn't pay attention to our conversation. He was out of town. I said he was going to be here.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Back to, I'm pretty sure Chief Howard doesn't want to go back to the Parks Department. I hear he works for a couple of really good guys, so.
I've heard the same thing.
No, I did, the mayor did ask me to come, and I was out of town last meeting, and, but I heard that he did a really, really good job with our annual report. I think you guys all got one of those. I was hoping you got one of them, because I didn't bring it up tonight, but wanted to, more than anything else, is just to, if you all had questions about that annual report. One of the things I did do that wasn't in here is I sat down and came up with some numbers that were not in this thing that I thought you all might be interested in. But I'm open to questions, and if I can do this first, then you guys can ask those, but however you all want to do it. You know, as you said in here, there's a whole lot of numbers, a whole lot of things to look at, and the significance of some of those is really what is your ambulance service, what you all, as a member of the authority, the money that comes from West Fork into the authority, what do you get for that money? And so, just give you a comparison of what we did in 2024 and then where we are this year in a few maybe interesting areas. So our total call volume in 2024 is the 911 center, which is our dispatchers. They work for us. They answer all the 911 calls that come in via cell phones out in the county and in all the cities, you know, everywhere except the city of Springfield. Or sorry, the city of Fayetteville. Springfield has their own. They answered over 26,000 911 calls last year, which resulted in 27,186 ambulance calls that went out in the county last year. So far this year, we've gone on, in the first half of this year, we went on 22,418 calls. So if we stay on that track, we're going to be a little bit higher than we were last year, which is typical. Every year it gets a little busier. Of that 22,400 people, we transported 13,650 of those people. We actually picked up, took to the hospital, transported 13,600. So that's about 60% of the calls that we go on actually produce a patient that we take to the hospital. I'm sorry, yeah, so that was last year, 22,000 transported. So far this year, we've gone on to 13,600 calls. Out of those, we've transported 11,480. No, that's a lie. Of those emergency calls were 11,486, and we transported 7,364 of those. So we're still on about that same track. One of the big things that I talked about the last time I was here, last year, I think, when we got the award for our level of cardiac arrest care, our survival rate for people that are in cardiac arrest. When we arrive there, they are not breathing, they do not have a pulse. Our goal is to be above 49% of those people. I mean, I know that sounds, well, you only treat half of the people, but what we did accomplish last year in 24, our cardiac arrest save rate was above 52, just above 52%. So what does that mean to us here versus everywhere else? The national average is about 13%. So in Washington County, we focus very, very much on anybody that is a patient that when we get there, we feel like, our paramedics feel like that they are viable patient. We have people that we can't help, right? We don't make that decision. That's well above our pay grade. But if they haven't been dead for a long time, they are viable patients, we work them. And 52% of the time, we get those patients back with a heartbeat. We call it ROSC. You might have seen that in here, return to spontaneous circulation. Means they have got a heartbeat, they may not be breathing on their own, but they have a blood pressure. We get them to the hospital, and in 2024, 17% of those patients that we got back actually discharged from the hospital and went home and are living a normal life. So that's pretty significant for what you guys are getting for your money in Washington County. This year, we are at 50%, so we are still maintaining that, and we have for several years, well above the national average, because we focus very much on that. And so far this year, 19%. So what do those numbers mean? 46 in 24, we had 46 out of 88 cardiac arrests we revived and brought back. This year, 21 out of 42, obviously 50%. And 19% of those, 8 of them went home, lived a normal life. So I think you guys might be interested in that information. It's pretty significant for the troops out in the field, the paramedics and the EMTs. I used to do that. They won't allow me to do it anymore. It's dangerous for the public for me to be on an ambulance. So I haven't done it in a long time. But so what about Westport, in town, in the city of Westport? There's some numbers in here that you guys probably saw that said where you saw West Fork was in here. This number is the whole West Fork area. Everywhere that TJ's team goes out, rural, city, the whole thing, that's these numbers. So, but in the city of West Fork, which you guys are very concerned with, 24, we had 273 medical calls in the city of West Fork. We transported 165 of our citizens to the hospital last year. This year, we're still on track. We got, so far for the first half of the year, we had 149 ambulance calls here. We've transported 96 of those people. So some of you may know some of those people that we've transported. And just kind of a little fun fact is last year, for our total service, our miles traveled for all of our ambulance service, we traveled 820,800 miles. And just for those of you that don't know, our county is 952 square miles. So that means we drove completely around this county 892 times. So that's a lot of driving for these guys. They're out all the time. You may see the trucks moving back and forth. So those are just some numbers that I think you guys might be interested in that was directly affected us here in Westport. So, anything, questions about any of this stuff? Anything that you saw in here? The mayor, I got reports that he did a really good job of going through this thing, and I think that I won't go back through it again since he did. That's why I brought these numbers.
I have a question because I can't remember. So when someone dials 911 and makes the call, what is your response time? Yes.
When the dispatchers take that call, typically within, right now, they're averaging in 45 seconds, they know where you're at, what's wrong, and who needs to come. They dispatch the ambulance. Our guys have, by state statute, we have 2 minutes to get out of, if we're in the building, if we're eating lunch, if we're sleeping, whatever, which they don't get to do much anymore. But in any of those cases, we have 2 minutes to get out of the building. Right now, we're averaging about 49 seconds to get out of the building. Get in the truck and be on the road in 49 seconds. So far, a minute and a half has, 2 minutes and a half has elapsed in that time, 2 minutes, or a minute, 45 seconds. And then it depends, our response time requirements through the interlocal agreement that you guys are part of says that in the city limits, we have 12 minutes and 59 seconds to get from where we are to the patient's side. So that's the goals that we're looking at. In Fayetteville, it's a little bit less because we have more trucks. It's more compact there. So, and then in the county, we have 20 minutes and 59 seconds to get out in the county to those patients. So those are numbers that we look at. And we're running in the mid to high 80 percentile most of the time of doing that, which in that number of calls, you know, in 27,186 calls, 85% of those are a lot of calls that we're at somebody's side. That's for high acuity lights and sirens emergency calls, because we do have a lot of calls that we don't run. They're not life-threatening calls, they're not high acuity calls, they're calls that, because every time we turn on those lights and sirens, our probability of having an accident, citizen or our people or somebody getting hurt and us not getting there goes up. So but those are, does that answer your question? Was that the numbers you're looking for?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Okay. But we did start a new service this year. The Board of Directors, Executive Committee, and mayor's on that. On both of those boards approved that we started a basic life support ambulance. So we know that it's a low acuity. The dispatchers process that. They are, when someone calls in and requests an ambulance, the dispatchers or the call takers interrogate them, if you will, ask them what's wrong, what's going on, how long it's been going on, get all the information, and they send an ambulance. They send the appropriate ambulance. And so what they dispatch and what either the paramedic or the EMT finds when they get there, they are higher than 96% accurate. So they get enough information in that 49 seconds, and they send the appropriate ambulance to the appropriate call, and they get them there, and they're right. So that's why we can do the BLS low acuity calls with confidence that we're going to send the right resource to the right call. And it's working really, really well. Any other questions?
No? We've got him here. We only get him once a year.
You ain't got to sell me on there, Charlie.
I know, seriously.
So just for the public, because you guys may not be aware of this, but all of the small towns in Fayetteville, so we're talking Elkins, Greenland, West Fork, Prairie Grove, Winslow, Farmington,
Elkins.
yeah, all of us are a part of the ambulance service. So Central EMS serves all of us, and all of the towns are owners of the ambulance service, if you will. So we pay a subsidy each year to the ambulance service to keep it alive and keep it going. And so West Fork's been blessed for a long time, possibly. I shouldn't say that, we're recorded, but Steve lives here. He's a West Fork guy. But West Fork we've been blessed with having our own ambulance, or not our own ambulance, but an ambulance station here in town, right? Not all cities have always had that, so we've really been blessed with that. And so that service, when Steve's given those numbers about call times, we have to keep in mind that for him to run a call in West Fork, because he's got an ambulance here, is one thing. West Fork's pretty small. I think we have 4 square miles. But they're running down to Winslow and Evansville, yeah. So you start looking at how often those times, he said they're in the 89th percentile. Probably 98% of the calls are in the 100th percentile, and there's those few outliers that's dragging everything down. But it's really a great service that we have. So Springdale, for example, has their own ambulance service. And because of that, those outlying cities around Springdale don't get the same kind of services for ambulance that the West Fork, Prairie Groves, Lincolns, that we've just grown accustomed to. So, yeah, you guys, a lot of times we don't know how well we have it, how good we have it with Central EMS. They're a true blessing to us, and they track everything. Everything is tracked, trained, and perfected.
Absolutely, Mayor. We have been, Central EMS has been here since 1980. Before that, the ambulance service was owned by the hospital, and it wasn't the greatest ambulance service. So it was they kicked those guys out in the county and started Central EMS. And from that point, we actually came to West Fork in 1987, and we partnered with the fire department, which I was on the fire department at that time, as well as working at Central. But we do have, with all of the cities, and one of the things guys got to understand is we can't be everywhere. We can't be in every city, in every town, in every location in the county. And we cover everything in the county except the city of Springdale, 50 square miles that Springdale owns. The other 900 square miles Central EMS covers. We can't do that alone. We partner with the fire departments. You've got some, TJ worked for Fayetteville. He worked for me. He's been on the ambulance, but he knows. And that partnership we have, being able to have an ambulance in this fire station that you guys allow us to be in, the Rural Fire Association, and in other cities that we're in. But when we get a call and we're not in town, we're not in West Fork, every single ambulance call that goes out in the county gets a fire department dispatch with us. So our dispatch center not only dispatches all the ambulances, they dispatch all the fire departments. And when we're not in town, these guys go. And they get there first. And they start life-saving, if it is bleeding control, cardiac, chest compressions. So if it wasn't for them, and we probably wouldn't have this high of a cardiac arrest save rate. It's the system that we have in Washington County that if you travel, and some of you that go, I know in fire departments and police departments and EMSs, you don't have the same thing in other areas than what we have in Washington County. And it's because the cities have all come together with the county and created this authority, and the partnership we have at Central EMS with the fire department and the police departments, the sheriff's office. It's one, the whole emergency service system in this county is next to none. I mean, there's not one out there, because we get along. We all go on calls together. We know each other. That's what makes this, the whole system work. It's not just us. We're not the only people that go out and save lives. Police department is there. They hear every call we go on because our dispatch center is sitting in the same room theirs is. So your PD goes with us. Justin and his guys are there. They're already on the accident scene. They're already making a place for us to park. I mean, it's just a system, an entire system. So it makes it really nice to work in some place like this, that the police and the fire, or fire and EMS, or police and EMS aren't having fist fights on the side of the highway, that you see sometimes on TV. So it didn't happen in Washington County.
And so the way we all come together and agreed that we would pay for our subsidy based on our population. So Fayetteville is the biggest population. They pay a larger subsidy than West Fork, right? But it's proportional to all of us. So it's one of the few areas that Washington County has really came together outside of our silos, right? Most of the time we're West Fork, stay away. But this is an area where the county came together, and it's been a very positive outcome.
And it makes it really, really easy for me, because I have 13 bosses. So 12 mayors and a county judge. So, but I did get to call Mr. Tom once in a while for some help. So. I can stand there and tell you guys about our guys, they do well, and we have a good system in this county. Any other questions for me?
If you've ever needed central EMS, you can appreciate more how important it is and how quick they respond. So if you've never needed it, you don't really understand.
You take it for granted.
You have, absolutely.
Most people don't think about it till they dial those 3 digits.
Mhm.
And it's us, fire, PD. I mean, you don't want a policeman showing up at your house unless you need them, right? But we're all in the same boat. And Dr. Murray said, if I live here, I want it to be good here. So, all right. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Steve. All right. Item 2 of new business is ordinance 2025-536. We are looking to amend the fireworks ordinance. Some might say we're a month late.
Well, you're early.
We're a year early. That's the right way to look at it. So you guys have that ordinance in your packet. It is, I don't remember everything we changed on this, but predominantly we are changing this. TJ brought up that our ordinance did not match with the state ordinance. And so, in particular, you can start selling fireworks throughout the state of Arkansas a week ahead of when West Fork was letting people. And so some of the fireworks tents were saying, well, we're losing out on a month's worth or a week's worth of revenue. And I may be wrong with that, TJ, but something in that neighborhood. So I know that we changed that. Did we change it? That's the only thing we changed, Christie? So that's what we're looking at with this ordinance, is just going to follow, and we tied it to the state ordinance, did we not? So it's just going to follow. We won't have to meet on this. If the state ordinance changes, we'll just follow with them, and everything should be good. Any questions on that? Any motion?
we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. That was Misty. Misty? You'll read that title.
Okay. In order to amend the West Fork Code, Chapter 7, Chapter 32 fireworks of the West Fork Municipal Code.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve that. Misty Cottle?
Yes.
Jeff Upton?
Yes.
Jan Throgmorton?
Yes.
Marty Lindenberry?
Yes.
John Collins?
Yes.
Dina McKnight? Don Rollins? And Anthony Foster are absent. That motion does pass. Next item of new business. Item 3, Resolution 2025-06- did you catch that? Amend the Personal Policy Handbook. I hope everybody read through this.
Nope.
Change.
I got Cliff Notes.
Got the Cliff Notes? Okay. So this is something Christie's been working on. She involved all of the department heads, just updating and bringing our Personnel Policy Handbook up to date, making it more in line with what we're doing, where we want to go. Do you have questions, Marty? I believe you actually read it.
I've read, if not all of it, darn near all.
Okay. It's a pretty slow read, I will grant you that. But I think Christie did a great job. I think the department heads did a great job contributing to that. I think this better prepares us as we navigate the future, and it's better for the city, it's better for the employees, it protects on both sides. So if there's no questions, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the amendment of the Personnel Policy Handbook. This is a resolution, so all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. And next we get to item 4 of new business, a discussion on adding In God We Trust and the 10 Commandments in the city buildings. So I know the city's received a lot of phone calls on this week. I've received some emails concerning this, and just want to let everybody know that this is something that came up a month or two ago. So the state, in their last legislative session, passed a bill requiring that schools and municipal buildings display the Ten Commandments. They went so far as to tell us how big it needed to be and where it needed to be placed. So, the city of West Fork, somebody, I think it was Jan, brought it up, that we wanted to talk about it, and what does it mean to us, right? So I'm gonna let Tom take it from there and just give us an update of where that bill is now, and any other information you want to give us on this, Tom?
Yes, so the bill became law and went into effect a couple days ago, but there was a challenge to its constitutionality. Right now, as of August 4th, Federal District Court ruled it was unconstitutional and granted an injunction against it being enforced. That will almost certainly be appealed by the state of Arkansas and the Attorney General. It will be appealed to the Circuit Court of Appeals in St. Louis, and it will be ruled upon anywhere between 6 months and a year, maybe a little more. I just got one back after about 18 months being up there. And we'll, so right now, until that ruling, now the 8th Circuit could vacate district court's stay on the law. It's not impossible, it's not particularly usual, but it may happen in this case. And so we'll all know about that. That's kind of where it is right now. There's nothing happening anymore with regard to the law.
So whether members of the audience are for the bill or against the bill, West Fork won't be moving on the Ten Commandments anytime soon, in your opinion. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's not until we have to hear more from the 8th Circuit, and then most likely, so one of these is going to get the U.S. Supreme Court, because several states did this.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
What about just in God we trust? I've never been in a courtroom that didn't have it.
No, the In God We Trust bill hasn't been, as far as I know, hasn't been challenged on a statewide basis. That's a public building bill, it wasn't a school. But much of those schools can post them, but as far as I know, that hasn't been challenged. Lots and lots of city halls got it. Lots of folks, there's several that have coins that have the In God We Trust on it, you know. So.
And so, Jen, I think to your point, a question for that, Tom, is we used to have In God We Trust above that mural. And Jan brought up the fact that we don't have it anymore. When we moved in here, that didn't move with the mural. So with this bill that they've passed, can the city pay to have that painted back up there, or is that something that has to come from private donations now?
You know, the In God We Trust poster law that was session before this one, it requires donations. The actual poster would be donated. And same thing, it has a measurement of the poster and everything that had to be posted. I know that the Attorney General has opined that, you know, county judges are custodians of property. There was a question of the Attorney General whether the county judge's custodian of property could be, which is constitutional, could be overruled by the statute. The AG said yes. The statute could still go into effect as against the county judge. But as far as another challenge, I haven't heard of anything in God We Trust. So it'd probably be wise to follow it, you know, to follow that law as opposed to take it upon ourselves to take the law into our hands. Probably would be wise to follow that law. Although I haven't heard much other controversy about it.
Okay.
Does that mean we go ahead and do it, or we don't?
Well, I think in order for us to do it, we just need to get a donation of funds to do that. But yeah, I think we will move ahead with that. I don't think a donation will be hard to get that put back above the mural.
That's probably most wise.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions on this?
Well, it sounds like it has to be a poster or framed thing instead of painted.
Yeah, as far as the posters, the ones that have to be posted in all city buildings, you know, if they're donated, they have this just measurement of the poster and everything, so, we certainly do it that way, and get the recommended poster out. That the legislature voted that law. And I don't have that in trust law in front of me, I've got the one the mayor put in the packet on the Ten Commandments, but, trust, we pulled it up.
I was thinking on that in God We Trust, the photo that you showed us, Farmington has it, and it's all in metal, it's like in God.
Yeah.
It's really, it's letters, and it's in white metal, it's real big, it's real nice. Have you not seen that?
It's been a while since I've been over there.
So I think we could get a photo and look at that, but I think we were kind of thinking of something up here versus over there. Yeah.
I like Tom's idea of the penny, since it may be going extinct.
Yeah.
That was kind of a neat idea.
Plus you get Lincoln, which is,
Yeah.
it's the greatest.
We need one of those back there.
So yeah, I think that's a discussion. Let's see if we get any donations into the city, and we'll look at the specifics of that law, and then we'll decide. It sounds like there may be some different opinions on what we're putting out and where, so we'll get that figured out and move that forward.
How do we find out what it'll cost us, and how much donations do?
That's kind of the interesting thing about this, right? The way they wrote this was a little ambiguous. They said every building, every school, classroom had to have it in there, but they couldn't pay for it themselves. That's, and if they put it in there, this is what they should put in there. I would say that we'll probably just get a donation and then we'll go from there. And you may start, Misty, the in God we trust. You might start looking for those syllables that you're thinking about, and just see, get an idea. Yeah. Yeah, just get some ideas of what it's going to cost. Yeah. Now, I know the public came because we had lots of phone calls, so I'm always up for a meeting. What questions do you guys have for this, concerning this? Yes, sir.
So it wasn't prohibited before to have it displayed.
Correct.
But now it's a requirement to have at least the poster.
Correct.
Okay, that's okay.
But the posters have to be donated?
Yes.
Where do the posters come from? Where do you find the posters?
Hey,
Okay.
people got upset with the city over this. The city doesn't have, there's a state law, and if you want to complain about this, I've got about 19 other things they passed in this last session, that while you're giving somebody an earful, go ahead and go down my list too, because it was a mess. But I digress. What else do you guys have concerning this?
Start donations for other things we trust in. In Earth we trust, in Allah we trust, are those things that the council would consider?
I think once you go down that road, you open it up to a lot of things, Grace. I certainly agree with you.
Just curious.
But you're 100% right. I'm not going to argue yes, no, or maybe on those. I want to say that when the government gets involved in some stuff like this, I think for the people who put this in place, there's some unintended consequences that are associated with it. I'm not arguing that one's better or right or wrong. I'm just simply saying maybe it's not the government's place to be involved in it. You're right. They may be playing in somebody else's sandbox other than their own.
Yeah. I guess maybe more my question is, what would be the process then? So we're saying, look at how much it costs to get gold letters and an I, an N, a G, an O, and a D. Does the council then vote on that? What is the process? If we're gonna put in, this slogan.
That's a great question, and we don't have a process right now. So where this started was, we had something in the past that didn't get moved into this room when we moved out of the old room. And so when this process started, it was, hey, we want, what should have been moved in here in the beginning, we want it moved in here. So you're asking, what is the process for how we don't have a process because that was never brought up until tonight, that it was gonna be something other than what we had originally.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
So how do you go about getting donations? Did you let the public aware of that? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think that's,
does someone do that, call people up?
no, we're not gonna solicit.
Yeah.
And I think the state felt like there would be donations if they put this out there as a law and made it known.
Okay.
But yeah, we're not gonna solicit for any donations for it by any means. I have a feeling the fact that we're talking about it tonight, there will probably be donations within the week. That's just my thought, but I may be wrong. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
My husband just made a suggestion. I wonder if we have a local artist in the area that would want to do it for free.
That would be a donation in kind, still be a donation that they would need to talk with the treasurer about.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Can I get a little clarification on the timeline on the bill? Because if I'm understanding right, and I guess this is Mr. Foster, that the motto was a bill that was done last year, and the Ten Commandments was a bill that was done this year? Is that correct? Or were they done at the same time?
Ten Commandments was adopted this past session.
Yes.
It went into effect, all the laws went into effect a couple days ago. That were passed, unless they had emergency clauses or some other time. I think that went into effect. And I think the ruling was the day that, I think the ruling came down from the court the day that it was going into effect, I think. Now, the MW Trust has been around for a little while longer. 2019 is the first mention of that, I see, but it was voluntary. And sometime after that, and I'm not sure when, it became mandatory. And it may have been 2019 now. And that was mandatory for posters that said MW Trust for the Arkansas flag and American flag. And if the posters were given to a school district or someone who administered a building, state-owned or city-owned, county-owned, then they had to be prominently displayed in public buildings. And the posters had to be 14 by 11 inches, or at least 14 by 11 inches on a poster or a framed copy. And then it sort of described how it had to look. So that's the, when we're talking about the mandate, that's the mandate. If you get donations of these posters, you have to apply. That's the mandate. And so now we're talking about designing, emblazoned letters in gold and such. And that's not really part of that law. I'm not sure it conflicts with that law. I like to be real conservative about following the laws that are written and not kind of going outside of them. But, whatever they decide to do, as far as the posters themselves that be donated, and if they're donated and they match this design description that the legislature set forth, then we have to put them up. I think that's pretty much it.
I think my question is, so the motto and the Ten Commandments are not connected. The stay has only been for the Ten Commandments and not the motto. And so there's no further action right now on the Ten Commandments because it's in a state of flux in appeals, or probably will go to appeal. And maybe the Supreme Court eventually.
And if there's been litigation over the motto separately, I'm not aware of it. Just some AG things, but not the public litigation. But I agree with you, sorry to be unclear about that.
I just need a clarification of the timeline there. It's reading the bill that's online, they're kind of mixed together. And it's hard to tell what exactly has the injunction against it and what doesn't.
That's a good point. It's sort of,
Yeah. And my legalese is not good. So,
Anyone else on this subject? Okay. We're gonna move into other business. Other business is the right way to say that. Is there any other business? No?
Surely you have something.
Surely he does not.
So I do want to give an update. This will concern some in the room, two at least. I had a meeting with Mark Marquis today concerning cottages at River Bend, which is the subdivision that's going up on the bluff behind east of Riverside Park. They should start initial construction next week on that, as far as going in and removing some trees, removing that old house back there and all the trash that's associated with that old house back there. I think they were going to meet with both of you ladies in your respective areas, just to one last time make sure that you guys were, basically everybody was on the same page before they do anything major. So Crystal, you'll probably be a little bit longer down the... Yeah. It may be a little bit longer before they get to your area, because I think they're going to start with the field and trying to get that cleaned up, trying to get the dirt work started. I do know today specifically, we talked about leaving as many trees as we could on that west side of the property. So Mark has been great to work with. I hope he's been great for the two of you guys through your meetings with him. Huh? Okay. Are you sure?
I called his office one day and he was gone for 10 days and he called me within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So yeah.
He may have met with Stephanie.
I think the only time that she had met with him, I know she did leave a message because he was going to come out there and look, and that was, I don't know, a long time ago, but she never heard back.
Okay. Well, he's planning on it, and he's directed all of his guys to the various companies that were represented today as far as that project. He has directed all of them to. He said today, West Fork is a nice little town. We are going to keep communication open and talk to people as we work through this. So the city hasn't had any issues with Mark's company, Riverwood Homes. So anyway, just a heads up, they will be starting next week is the plan. So I'm sure weather and everything else permitting, but that's where they're going to start is with cleanup and the removal of some trees and whatnot on the actual field part of it. They gave the estimate today that homes would be for sale this time next year. So next fall, they plan to have homes for sale. There are 27 or 28 homes in that. I don't remember now. But they are also addressing some of the runoff issues that currently happen over in that area. So they have a plan in place to address some of that and actually fix some of the runoff that's going straight into the river as it is. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that.
Just out of curiosity, what is the price of that home?
He didn't give me a price. He did say that it was going to be similar to the product that they built over on Smith Street. So in that, I think most of those are between $275 and $300. So that's the range of homes. I don't know if you've been over there, but good-looking houses that they've built so far. So yeah.
You said call them cottages.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because they're smaller, or?
I think it just sounds nice. Cottages at River Bend. Yeah, so I think that's just a marketing ploy. So anyway, that was my other business there that's getting ready to kick off. And no one else has any other business? No?
Speaking of, Chief Howerton talked about the pancake breakfast.
Well, hang on, you're getting ahead of me, John. My mayor's comments were, John, do you have a West Fest update?
The 6th and 7th. And right now, as of right now, we have quite a bit of vendors. It should be the biggest yet.
So in my profession, quite a bit just drives me nuts. Quite a bit.
So there is about 40 vendors, and so far our highest number has been like 32,
A
so.
woman after my own heart. Did you hear that specific? 42. She's a collector.
Several of our vendors has 2 and 3 booths.
Oh, nice.
So,
Anything new that you wanted to,
food trucks.
new food trucks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if there were ever a time that the city could partner and put more electrical areas, it would be great to have more electric booths. Just throwing that out there.
You know, Chad, how you borrow our cord, we're gonna have to borrow yours also this year.
I got yours and mine.
Yes, I know.
Safekeeping.
Yes.
That reminds me of the railroad ties.
We just got our fingers crossed that they will be gone, but I got it.
They started. Go ahead. Go ahead,
That's
Dave.
it. I was just when you started talking about West Fest, it reminded me of the Facebook comments about those being there for that event and.
Yeah.
You should call the railroad and tell them they need to move.
I was told the railroad don't have them. It's whoever they contracted to pick them up owns them ties. So it's not the railroad. Because we looked into it.
Yeah. So hopefully they will be gone. If not, you'll have the aroma of Chris Oak with the aroma of the food trucks.
Yeah.
It should be a lovely mix. What do you think, Marty? Yeah. They did start today. Hopefully they'll have them, but I can assure you the city cannot do anything to speed them up. They've proved that to us on multiple occasions.
But on a safety note, there's less area for kids to cross the railroad tracks during the day. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, a jungle gym now. So, yeah, anyway, so what was the dates again?
6th and 7th.
September 6th and 7th.
Setup starts on the 5th.
And what time's the pancake breakfast start, TJ?
I believe 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning, okay.
Parade lineup at 9, parade starts at 10.
Okay. Do we have a lot of people entered in that yet? Do you know?
We don't, it's, anybody's welcome.
I have a question. Is the parade gonna go past the library this
Yes.
year? Okay.
Yes.
Because I get asked that a lot, and so I
Yes.
wanted to.
Okay.
Food drive too.
Oh, yes. Stand up, who's that for?
So West Fest is also hosting food drive, which will also support Bright Futures at the school, so that we'll be filling up their pantry as we go into those winter months for families that might need that, so.
Very nice.
Anyway, so if you come for the event, we're gonna have an area of collection. If you're driving in the parade, you know, bring a couple of cans with you, non-perishable items.
Okay. Very good. I'm excited. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, so am I. You know. Bigger and better.
Okay. And with that, John,
Hey, what's adjourn?
we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. That motion carries. We are adjourned.